I have the distinguished honor tonight to introduce our Secretary of State, Mr. Frank LaRose, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance of America and to tell us a little bit about Mr. Secretary.
Thank you, Chairman. And if you would, please rise to your feet. Gentlemen, remove your hats. Here in America's heartland, we honor America properly by putting our right hand over our heart and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much, Chairman, and thank you so much, everybody. Have a seat, please. I know those words mean a lot to you all. Those words mean a lot to me as well, especially as a combat veteran. I've served in the United States Army for 10 years. I continue to serve as a reservist as an Army Green Beret, and thank you very much to my fellow veterans. Let's get a show of hands, everybody that served. Give them a round of applause. Got my 8-year-old daughter Ellie here with me, and it's a reminder why we do this work, fighting for our values to make sure that the state she grows up in is going to be fair and free, and she's going to be able to live in the kind of country that we all love. Hey, so my job as Ohio Secretary of State is pretty simple. I keep our elections honest. I do things that drive the Democrats nuts, like kicking dead people off the voter rolls. We work to make sure that absolutely every election gets audited in Ohio, and we have a paper trail so that we can do that. And last year, when President Trump won in Ohio by an absolutely record-setting margin, we did a post-election audit, and it showed us that we had a 99.98% accuracy rate. So you know President Trump earned it right here in Ohio. I'm here to tell you that when the activist groups come around in September and try to sue us to change our rules at the last minute, we don't settle the lawsuits like some other states do. We fight them. In fact, there were 5 lawsuits filed against me in the month of September last year. They wanted me to do all kinds of crazy things like stop verifying signatures when we get our absentee ballot requests. Absolutely nonsense ideas like legalizing ballot harvesting or putting a drop box on every street corner so anybody that wants to can put a ballot in. We said no, we fought them, and we won 5 different times. We didn't settle. We go through the voter rolls on an annual basis, and we remove non-citizens that have become registered. The good news is it's a very small number, usually just a couple hundred. And when we remove them, we find those that have tried to cast a ballot, and we refer them for prosecution because only United States citizens get the ability to vote in this country. You guys have heard of this little village up the road called Yellow Springs. To prove that things just kept getting weirder last year, I got a call from the Greene County Board of Elections last year. Said, hey, the village of Yellow Springs just passed a resolution saying anybody can vote regardless of citizenship status. What should we do? And I said, let me handle this. So we drafted up a memo and we said, attention Village Council in Yellow Springs, I regret to inform you that the United States Constitution is still in effect in Yellow Springs and only citizens can vote. And furthermore, be careful about the people you're trying to help, because when a non-citizen casts a ballot in Ohio, they're committing a felony, which makes them subject to immediate deportation. So don't be doing stuff like that here in the Buckeye State. Now listen, there are some threats to our elections, and we as conservatives need to be focused on those things. I call it the triple threat. There are 3 things that I'm focused on. First of all, fighting federal efforts to take over our elections. I gotta tell you, there's a thing called H.R. 1 and a thing called H.R. 4. They're dangerous. This is the Pelosi-Schumer effort to Californify our elections. They want to legalize ballot harvesting in all 50 states. They want to tell us that we can't check IDs anymore. They want to tell us, and this is the kicker, this one cracks me up. I've talked to your congressman about this. We found in that bill a requirement about what kind of adhesive the Board of Elections had to use on absentee ballot return envelopes. They said you can't use the lick kind, you have to use the stick kind. I don't know if there's a lobbyist for people with no tongues in DC or something, but that's the kind of arrogance that these people have. Well, I got to tell you that we're fighting against those efforts, and I'm glad to tell you that Congressman Warren Davidson and Congressman Jim Jordan are leading that effort to fight those kind of things, but we have to keep it going. There's another threat. There's another threat. It's not just that they're trying to get changes to the laws in D.C. to tell us how to run our elections here in the Buckeye State, but as I told you, these activist groups, they come suing every September. They want us to go around the state legislature. They want us to make election law at the courthouse instead of the state house, and we tell them in Ohio, heck no, we're not going to take that. We have to fight these pre-election lawsuits that people file, and we as a party need to be more diligent about this, particularly in 2024 when the next presidential election comes around. Let me tell you the last threat, and this is something I've got my eyes on as your Secretary of State, and I'll be honest with you, it's a little bit self-serving. The Democrats want to put liberal activists in charge of your elections. You remember the name Eric Holder, Obama's Attorney General, Mr. Fast and Furious? He started a super PAC in April with one objective. He said he's going to raise $15 million to defeat Republican secretaries of state. He named the first 5 targets. Guess who's on his list? Yours truly. I'm standing in the way of Eric Holder putting a liberal activist in charge of Ohio's elections, and I'm asking for your help to do that. The work of our party matters because our values matter, and our values are what makes America great. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Frank LaRose. It's an honor to serve as your Ohio Secretary of State. God bless Butler County. Have a great night.